Hello, welcome to the Connect 0007 experience. Here, we come to the podcast where human connection is everything. If you're trying to connect better with those around you, you're in the right spot. So please, sit back, relax, open your mind, and enjoy the experience. What is up, my people? I am your host of this amazing podcast, Thaddeus Sims, and today is our 57th episode titled, You Haven't Died Yet, and Enough. And I know that sounds like a very, very weird title, but you're going to see what I mean. You're going to get a little bit of a different Thad today. So, before going into this, I actually do have a big announcement for you all. So obviously for the listeners who've been listening to the podcast regularly, you notice that the past a few podcasts I haven't had an announcement, and it is because I've been working on this big announcement for you all today. So I'm excited to share this with you guys. This has been in the works for I maybe want to say a few weeks now. So yeah, but I'm just going to dive into this. So this is the big announcement. So pretty much starting off with just an email asking for feedback on their service and me pretty much connecting with a very, very kind individual in their marketing department. The company bio.fm allowed me to give them a huge shout out on the podcast and to give you all of you, the Connect 0007 family, a huge gift. But before I really share the gift, I just want to tell you, who are they and what do they do? So bio.fm is a beautiful way to share your YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and more content. There's even stuff I discovered, something called Medium. I've never heard of that. I may look into that, but even that, and there's some other stuff as well. But with all of that, you can just share one bio link, and your bio is free, and pretty much you can get started whenever. But pretty much, in my own words, with a bunch of stuff, pretty much you just set up your bio, you add some links, some pictures, contents, or whatever else that you do with their link. I suggest for you all who have your phone in hand, just check out my Instagram and click on the link in my bio. I sound like such an Instagrammer, but literally just click on the link in my bio and you'll actually get to see a visual of exactly what I'm talking about. I'm a very visual person, so you all can just look at that as I'm saying this. I'm giving you 3 seconds here. 3, 2, 1. Okay, you're on there? Okay, cool. So, oh, by the way, if you're completely new to the podcast, my Instagram is at Thad Sims, THADDSIMS. Should have said that. Let me give you another 3 seconds. Okay, you go on there, you search, okay, at Thad Sims, you see that person, okay, 3, 2, 1, boom, all right, you're on there, right? Okay, cool. So, it's a good visual. You click on the link and you get to see what I'm talking about. Now, what I like about them is that it's very, very clean. I see some other links and they're kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? They're just a bit messy to me. I can't really describe it. I guess the aesthetics about some others, I don't know, it's just not that for me. But this one is very clean. They're also super simple to work with. Simplicity is everything for me. If it's something that's very, very complicated, I do like some complications here and there because I feel like it's a bit of an exercise. But when it comes to something like, okay, I need this, for people to see, use immediately, I need it to be very, very simple. Like a third grader can use this. That's one of the biggest things that I love about them. It's very simple. And another big thing is the fact that it allows me to have more options and customize what I want for my podcast on Instagram. Because we all know that one link on our Instagram gets used out. People be like, oh, click on the link in my bio for my new YouTube page or my new product. I know for me personally, that was kind of annoying because if someone wanted to check out the podcast and I just released a new shirt and I told them to click on a link, it was just like, okay, if someone new wanted to see how to find my podcast, that was just pretty hard. So this was just awesome for me. But something that I would say I'm very, very grateful for with this company, and it's another huge thing. Like, this is super huge. I think besides that, this was super huge for me. It really took me by surprise that it was actually a real person, like a whole human, who emailed me for feedback, and it just wasn't like a computer. That was huge for me because most of the times you get feedback from other people you get feedback from companies and it's either, did we do good? How was our service? And you don't really want to do that. It's like, I should, so you guys know if you do better or not. But it's different. But this was actually an individual. And because of that, it made me want to reply. So if there's any business owners out there and you're asking for feedback, if you have a whole human being, your chances of getting feedback may go up. I mean, for me, it definitely did. This is the podcast where we connect with people. So if there's a person on the other end asking for feedback regarding their company, let's do that. So with that being said, you got a gist of them. And also you're on my link so you can see what it's about. The gift is that they decided for all of the listeners on here to give you all a lifetime premium account. So that's for up to 1,000 of my listeners for the podcast. So all of you literally have the opportunity to have a lifetime premium account with them. Now, the difference from their regular account, which their regular account is amazing. I mean, you can just get on the regular account and be great and really be doing your thing. But they also have the premium, and you know, with premium, you have more perks. So the difference from the regular account and the premium is you get even more exposure, traffic, leads, and followers with the premium plan. So some of the perks, like 3 bullet points with them, is that you get to add 3 extra blocks, which means just 3 more opportunities to engage with the followers you already have. So if you have a link, for example, for your website, that's one thing. You may have a link for an artwork that you did. That's another thing. Me personally, I may use it for my website, my podcast, my t-shirts, and my Patreon. Another thing is that you can create your own custom URL. And what that means is if you're already on my link, if you're literally clicking on my on my pictures, right? You can click on the picture and it'll actually take you to a link or a web page, wherever that I choose. So if I'm having a t-shirt of mine and I would say, hey guys, look at this t-shirt, you can click on the picture and it'll take you to, read more, and then you can click on there and it'll take you directly to the page. And also too, you can remove the bio.fm logo. So there's that. So that's just how I personally use the custom URL. Just for my pics, it's just display. You guys can check it out. But really, this is great for business owners, podcasters, artists, YouTubers, and anyone else who just have a lot of content and they hate the limits of Instagram like I do. It just wasn't for me. I don't like limitations. So there's that. So again, guys, if you are a big time business owner or you love putting more content and that one link is just killing it for you, add them. It just makes things so much simple. It's so easy. It's direct. People click on it. You can do everything stays in Instagram. That's how I like it. So they can just stay on the app. That's perfect. It's just really awesome. I've been using it for a little over a month now, I want to say, and I haven't had any issues with it. So I'm going to leave the link for you all to sign up. Again, free lifetime premium. Why not? If you put content up a lot, this is a huge asset for you. And you can also do it on other things as well. I personally do it on Instagram. So again, you can check out my link. But do keep in mind though, guys, I don't get paid for this. So this isn't one of those, oh, this is an advertisement. Like, no, I really don't get paid for this at all. I really just wanted to just give them a huge shout out because of just their amazing customer service and just how awesome it has been for me and the podcast. I am very grateful for anybody that helps, anything that would be for the podcast and help you all out. So they were amazing for me. And as we were emailing, I was just like, hey guys, Is it okay if I give you guys a shout out? Because I would like people to know that you guys really do good. So I'm going to leave the link in the bio. And that is the announcement, guys. So it has been building up for this big announcement. There's another one, but that's coming later. I got to get that finalized and you'll see. Now, we're going to the fun fact here. The fun fact is King Henry VIII slept with a gigantic axe beside him. This wasn't the only lethal weapon he owned. King Henry VIII had a huge collection of weapons, which included 6,500 handguns. My Lord, that is a lot. Okay, then. So let us actually dive into the podcast. And you guys can actually see what I mean by... What do I mean? Literally, just like, okay. So... just as the title is, a lot of you all, you just haven't died. Like, really, a lot of you all just have not died yet and not enough. So what do I mean by that is, how do I say this? No, I'm just messing with you guys. In simplicity, like a lot of you guys are sticking with a lot of things that are very old and it's just not serving you no more. Old things about your personality, the way you do things, mindsets, emotional reactions and responses, lifestyle choices, many things like that. And the issue with a lot of you all is that you just haven't decided to die. Now, what I mean is not suicide. I literally mean like transformation. Give you an example. I have literally died like, I want to say at least over 8 times. And what that means is that there had to be a death or a transformation to certain parts of myself, and they needed to go. There was a death to how I used to be. Like I used to be very mean, very cold. That had to die. Something else had to be reborn, right? Another thing is responses emotionally. People would say something, I would hold it in and I would like, I'm not going to say nothing to them. And it would hurt me. I'd be killing myself and suffering in silence. That had to die, right? Let me take it bigger. There are times where your whole world, everything you thought you knew and the way you did things literally just gets destroyed. And it doesn't have to be dramatic as that. In some cases it is. But for me, it would literally be like, okay, I'm doing this thing. I'm learning about energy. I'm learning about meditation. I'm connecting with my spirit guides at the time. I'm connecting with my ancestors, all of that good jazz, right? And I'm doing it in a certain way. And next thing you know, it came time like, hey, yeah, everything that you learned, all of that has to be deleted. And it's like, wait, what? Like, dude, I've been doing this for like, what? A year and then some. Yeah, all of that has to go. Your whole habits, all of those have to be destroyed. It's like, wait, what? And a lot of us struggle with letting go. Or should I say we struggle with just dying. We struggle with the transformation, that whole process. And because of that struggle, our lives just isn't the way we want it to be. Like a lot of people may say, I think that's common, is that every time I take 2 steps forwards, I take 10 steps back. And the reason that may be is because those 8 steps, those extra 8 steps, whatever. I'm not good at math, but those steps that you took back literally is just like, hey, yeah, these things right here, you need to actually look at, you need to let go. A lot of us literally expect new things and we want new people and new opportunities, but we can't have that with old habits, old thought processes, old wounds. Some of us, like, we really have a lot of healing to do before we can have new people. A lot of us may say, man, my life sucks right now, or I don't like the way my life is going. And maybe there are a lot of things that needs to die, like in your life right now. So here's another example. I know for me, I'm a big energy guy. I can pick up stuff about energy. I can sense the energy off of people, this, that, and the other. And I'm not the only one. A lot of other people could do it. There's a process that I did it, and it worked for me and it worked well. And it came time where it was just in meditation, it was like, hey, yeah, everything that you learned and that you know and have experienced about energy, all of that needs to go in the trash. And it's just like, what? And I'm thinking, wait, whoa, like, have I been doing it wrong the whole time? And it was like, no, that served you for this period in your life, but it's not going to serve you for what's, to come. You're growing, you're changing. You need to get with the times. You need to get with the flow. And all of us have our own unique flow. And in that unique flow, we have to die in certain cases so we can be reborn and new things can happen. New feelings, new thought processes, right? So, me personally, I want to say my last recent death. I'm going to keep using death because it really gets people's attention. But we all know I'm meaning transformation. My last recent death was, I want to say a few weeks ago. When was that? Because that was the other death. I'm thinking of the most recent death. I pretty much I think that was the one with the energy. I really had to change a lot of stuff as well. Oh no, sorry. It was a thought process. It was thought processes that I had to change about myself. And I really needed to work on more freedom. And there were things in my thought process that was hindering that freedom. So the way I thought, the way I did things, the way I processed information, all of that had to die, and I had to replace that with more, because if that didn't, I would have struggled. Now, also in the title, I said enough, because a lot of people think, I just completely made this shift. Everything should be good. No, you're going to have to die some more because you're going to be reborn some more. There are different times, man, a whole new day, a whole new you. And you'll eventually get to a process where literally you can tell people like, man, I don't even know who I'm going to be 2 weeks from now, because you don't. Like, you're constantly changing. You're going in your natural flow of growth, expansion. And a lot of us, we struggle just with that. And I'm telling you, it can be hard. We do get in some dark places. But what will help you is the faster that you hurry up and just let those things die out and you'll get reborn, you'll feel much better. It's like shedding, guys. You shed new energy. Your blood starts flowing better. God dang it, your gut starts feeling better. Those health problems that you start to have, they start to go away. There are so many benefits to when you die. Like, this transformation is everything. And that is really what I mean, guys, by you're not dying enough. And some of you haven't died yet because you're still holding on to things. And I guarantee you that if you really did do this, your life would be better. Now, on another note, that is, how in the heck did this come up to be an episode? Well, you may ask. I was talking with a good friend of mine. We always have these deep conversations. And, actually, no, there was another friend. This was actually the podcast. This was stemming from, there were 2 points. The podcast with Michael that I did, you can check that out. He was saying how he felt like he was dying, but he felt really good. You can get a good reference from another person besides me who was saying like, gosh, I feel like I'm dying, but it feels good. I'm learning new things. Part of what he was saying, plus talking with another friend because of some experiences that I was going through, I was like, dude, how many times would you say you've died? And he was like, more times than I can count. And I was like, dang. I was like, me too, bro. I'm in the same boat. I know I got over like 5 or 6 or something like that. I don't think I'm in the 10th range, but yeah. But when we say that, we all know like, man, it's major transformation. So what I'm telling you guys is a lot of times, everything that you know may need to go out the window. Everything that you learn from your parents, from your spouse, from your best friend, from that person you looked up to, certain things may not serve you like they used to anymore. You have your own experiences. Your dream is calling you to do more and be more. And especially when you're following your dream, you are going to die a lot. Especially if you're following your dream. Lots of things about you are going to die. So if you want to die, guys, follow your dream. You are going to get a hell of a transformation. And I'm telling you guys, but it's not a bad thing. It's a really good thing. What will help you get through it is the mindset that this is making me better, or this is getting me closer to who I really am, right? And it's easier to say that when you're when you're not in the process, but when you die enough, you can go back in the process and you can tell like people how it feels. So I'm going to do that right quick, just to give you guys an example, because this is me telling it to you like, oh, you did it, you do it, and then you feel better. In the last recent part of my last death, it was annoying. I felt like mentally, I was getting frustrated, and I was just not knowing, like, okay, I kept thinking that I needed to do something. I needed to learn something, do something different. Maybe I'm missing something. So what had to die with that is that I had to really look inside and what was really going on. And what came through was that you're always, like, to message to me was like, dude, you're always trying to be better, which is good. You're always thinking you're missing something. Have you ever thought that maybe you have it all, but you just need to be patient? And it was just like, no, I didn't think about that. And it was like, it was hard going with that, because it's just like, you're saying this, but I feel mentally, and I'm thinking this is just not the way. And I was really kind of going through it, and it would cause me to feel emotionally a little bit unstable, because I was trying to figure this out, but I was trying to do what I had to do. And I was talking with a friend, and I was just kind of annoyed. And then there was another friend who was happy, but their happy level was like a level higher than that it was too much for me. And I really wanted them to bring it back down a notch, but I was frustrated because I was that person who wanted them to bring their happiness down. I'm like, what the heck is wrong with me? Like, they need to be happy. This person really need to be happy. Like, hell, they need whatever they've been smoking or drinking or doing. They need extra that, because they need it, because Lord knows how long it's gonna last. But I was getting frustrated with that, guys. Another thing is like, I was trying to meditate, and then I was getting frustrated in my meditation. I'm like, oh, I'm just so frustrated. And then I was distracting myself by watching a show or playing a game, because I'm like, if I think about it, I'm going to get frustrated. I'm going to get irritated, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to play the game and I'm going to relax. And then I wanted to do stuff, but because I didn't meditate and think about it, it was going to hold me back. And so I was going to be more frustrated. So it was like everything that I was going to do was going to cause me to be frustrated and mad. And to the point where I was just like, you know what, F it. And then I just left it all alone. And I took a day where I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to do nothing today. I'm just going to sit here in my bed or on the couch, hang out with my sister, and not think about all of the stuff that's going on in my mind, because I have no idea what I'm doing. And then I talked with a friend, explained to them what was going on. It helped out. I meditated. I finally got a part of my ish together. And then I just learned I was just impatient with a lot of stuff. But it revealed so many things about myself, that I'm always the type to think that I'm missing something when things aren't going as fast as I want them to. And I'm always like, okay, maybe I need to change something. And really, it's just like, dude, you have it all. You just have to be patient with the process. And I hear that, and it's like, that sounds cute. And people can tell you that. It's worse when someone tells you, bro, just be patient, and you really just want to take the soul out of their body. Like, bro, don't tell me to be patient. I know I'm supposed to do that, but don't tell me to do that. Like, you just get irritated. And that was like part of the process, guys. And, I'm pretty chill at the same time. It was at a point where I wasn't really eating like I should have. No, I did not eat anything unvegan, but I mean, like, I would just eat like twice a day, and it wasn't a lot of fruits or veggies. Like, it was just straight, like, I don't know, bread stuff that I had. And I was just like, I don't feel like cooking. Or I would buy stuff knowing that I'm trying to save money. I would just buy something. Like, I don't have time for it, because if I have to cook, I'm going to be even more frustrated. So in that whole process, guys, my last death was very frustrating. And eventually, talking with a friend, it did lead me to a very weird experience, to where I was really going through some stuff financially. And I'm just like, dude, I really want to freak the hell out, But there's this weird part of me that's smiling and is excited about the challenge. And I really need to figure out that part of me and what he's smoking, because I need some of that right now. And I'm like, dude, I just want to freak out. I feel like that's human. But majority of me does not want to. So I'm really guys, like I'm really giving you like the full on, this is what I was going through in my last death. And because of talking with that friend, and he said, dude, just be at peace. And, you know, he asked me a question. He's like, do you trust yourself? Do you trust your guidance? And I was like, I trust that more than anything. That's like my priority and stuff. He's like, okay, well, trust what's coming to you. And when he said that, that was like, okay, you're right. And after a while, later on, I meditated, some more stuff came to me and I felt better. But a lot of things that was revealed that came up from that all had to be deleted. Those parts of me had to die. And that was annoying as heck, guys. That really was. So what I'm telling you is that your death process isn't going to be cute. It's not going to be pretty, beautiful, and or handsome. You may want to punch your child, kick a newborn baby giraffe. I don't know. But it's not fun. And I'm going to tell it to you like it is. But what I will tell you is after you do die and you're reborn, everything just starts to flow. It feels so much better. You have more insight. Your life just starts to get better, simpler. People start to just come into your life and it just gets easier. I will tell you. New ideas as well. New ideas will definitely come. And how all of this connects with people, because this is the podcast, how to connect with those around you, is that you may be the person who was just reborn and you're maybe surrounded by a lot of your friends who are currently dying. And it's good to reassure them, you know, whatever comes to you naturally, reassure them like, hey, you're going to get through this. I went through this as well, blah, blah, blah. It's good to reassure them like, hey, man, this happens. You're normal, whatever it is, you know how to speak with them. And that'll help you. You'll be that good rock for them. You'll be that good reminder. And then vice versa, you may be the one that's dying. And it's good to communicate, hey, I'm in my process where I'm dying right now, you know? And everybody's like, what? It's like, dude, it's transformation. Like, you know, they'll get it. And just talk to them. Now, I'm going to say this again. A lot of people don't like that word dying or death, but I have to use that word to really get you guys is like, how can I put it? To get you guys to really understand the seriousness of it and how important it is for you, because we may not think about it, but there is lots of things about us that does have to die. Like think about when you were 7, if you can even think about that. And if you can't, chances are that 7-year-old part of yourself had to die out for you to become the person you are. We do this naturally. It's normal. It's okay. So let's use that word. But understand that it just means transformation. I know I said that 3 times, but I just got to make sure y'all get it. So that's really it, guys, for this. When it comes to that, if you're in your dying process, your death process, it's okay. A lot of things are going to be revealed. You're going to get through it. You're going to be reborn. And boom, you may meet somebody else. You help them through it, and boom. And sometimes if they really, really going through it, you just say, oh, okay, you want some water? And leave it at that, because sometimes some people really, really be going through it, and it's just like, ooh, okay, hit me up later, you know? So there's that. But yeah, guys, so that's really what I meant in this episode. Like, some of you guys just aren't dying, and some of you just aren't dying enough. Like, embrace the death, embrace the transformation, embrace the growth. You're going to be a better person, right? So, with that being said, let us go to our final thing here, which is health is wealth. So I've been doing this, I think, for last 2 episodes now, where this is the portion where I like to share a healthy food or a new food, whatever it is, that will be an amazing asset to your health, right? The reason why I'm doing this is because I would mention some of these foods or some of these fruits, vegetables, and or grains, and people look at me like I have four heads and I'm smoking out of my ear. So here we go. The topic of the day with Health is Wealth is spelt. SPELT. Now, some of you are probably like, spelt. Some of you may have heard of that. And some of you guys are probably like, okay, Thad, what the hell are you talking about? So here we are. Spelt is an ancient grain widely recognized for its many health benefits. The scientific name for spelt is Triticum spelta. It's a heartier and more nutritious cousin to the modern wheat, Triticum aestivum. And some taxonomists classify spelt as a parent of wheat. One of the earliest domesticated grains, spelt hasn't changed since biblical times. It remains unaffected by concepts such as agribusiness, crossbreeding, hybridization, and genetically modified. So words that have come to dominate our modern food supply. Known for its slightly nutty flavor, spelt has long been popular as a health food in Europe, where it's sometimes known as farro in modern Italy and dinkel, Dinkel, in Germany. So, what that whole sentence right there meant is that it's not genetically modified. It's not man-made. No one has messed with it. That's pretty much what that means. You don't have to worry about nobody crossbreeding stuff. That means it's good. It's the source whole. Now, some of the benefits with spelt is it improves cholesterol levels, it reduces blood pressure, it's good for heart health, better digestion, weight management, and lastly, it reduces the risk of diabetes. Now, how do you eat it? I mainly use it as my main flour in the house. So if some of my friends who listen to the podcast, they've had my apparently very famous waffles, and that is what I mostly make my waffles out of is spelt flour. So I use it for waffles, or I make some type of bread with it. That's usually what works for me. So any type of biscuits, any type of bread to use for hummus, that's what I like to do. You can also boil it and use it as a substitute for rice as well. But I personally, I'm not going to lie to you, I personally don't do that because it just takes too long for me. But you can. It is pretty good. I will say it does have a nutty flavor. I like it. I will say I mostly just had it in its flour form. I did try the soaking method once, but I didn't cook it right. So when I say right, like I wasn't familiar with it. I didn't grow up on it, so I didn't really know how to hook it up. So it was a bit different. I know when you really get in its raw form, it suggests that you let it soak overnight in water and then you boil it and then get it very soft. So again, you can use it as a substitute for rice or any other healthier dishes. It's really, really good for you. I just gave you some of the few benefits, but it has many more than that. It is fantastic for you. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I really use it with. That's just what I mainly do it for, guys. Spelt is pretty much in every dang thing that I have. Even spelt bread. You can also buy spelt bread as well. If it depends on where you get it, because it's not genetically modified and it doesn't have any crazy stuff in it. I personally get my spelt at Whole Foods. I have not seen it in Trader Joe's. Maybe your store near you may have it. But if you have a Whole Foods near you or any health food market, you can get it there. You can get the spelt flour, or you can get the spelt grain. Or again, you can order from Amazon if you really want to do that as well. But again, it's really, really good for you guys. I love it. And I'm trying to think of anything else with it, guys. I just know there's more stuff is it the one that? No. Sorry, I'm thinking of something else. That'll probably be the next one. But yeah, guys, definitely check out the benefits. It's really, really good for you. It's a great substitute. So you don't have any other crazy stuff. The bread, I get mine at Whole Foods. The bread is a bit more expensive because it is healthier and it doesn't have all of the crazy ingredients. So what do I mean by that is if you're a person who really don't care, I'm gonna just tell it to you like this. And I'm probably finna turn a bunch of y'all off by just the bread, but you don't have to get the bread. But the bread will come to about $6.99, and you're probably like, ooh, $6.99 for some bread? And it ain't that huge either, so let me just say that. But if you look at it, the ingredients are ingredients that you can read. And even a third grader can read it. Like, it's only 3 things: the spelt, the water, and salt. And that's like it. There's no yeast and none of that other stuff in there. Whereas your regular bread has like a whole encyclopedia of stuff in there. We're not going to talk about that. So if you want something healthier, more wholesome, more natural, by all means, hop on that. It's really good for you. So with that being said, that is the end for this podcast. I will be speaking with you all Friday. And yeah, also too, guys, if you have, I'm sure all of you have been on the website. I really just modified the website for the podcast page. So you can definitely go in there and check it out. It's much more simpler for anybody who mainly don't use any of the podcast apps. If you have a friend who may like, hey, I want to check out the podcast, and you don't want to ask them the question of, oh, do you have it on iPhone? Do you have it on Station? You can just send them like the website page, and it'll literally just have all of the podcast episodes on there, and they can literally just click play, and it's simple. It's on there, regardless if they have an iPhone, Android, and all the other phones in between. But yeah, it's available. So with that being said, guys, you all are amazing. I thank you for taking the time. And by the way, we actually hit over 2,000 downloads. So I want to say I thank you guys so much for pressing play and making my podcast a part of your schedule. You guys are fantastic. I love you, and I will definitely keep up the good work. And by all means, guys, feel free to message me, contact me, whatever. I would love to hear some insight. And if you guys have any topics you would like me to go over on the podcast regarding connecting with people, by all means, let me know. So that being said, I will talk to you all soon. Thank you for listening to today's episode. Please leave a 5-star rating and share with a friend near you. Remember, the world's a better place because you exist. Know your worth and know thyself.